All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our very first webinar that's organized by Morocco HPC. This initiative that you've probably heard of just a couple of weeks ago. And since we've just started, and we are very happy to be able to present it to you today and to tell you about how Morocco HPC will promote HPC and what are the main goals of Morocco HPC, what are the main objectives of Morocco HPC, who are the founders, who is the team. So we are really happy that you are with us here, and we are really looking forward to presenting our initiative to you. So the first thing that I would like to start with is that Morocco HPC has a main goal of building a community. So everything we do is actually towards building a community. It's actually participating in building a community that works on HPC, that is just an HPC fan, or that is actually willing to learn more about HPC. So whatever we do, again, all the events, all the workshops and all that, we are really aiming to build a community that works on HPC in Morocco. So this platform that we just started, or Morocco HPC, we really want to raise awareness about the power of HPC, and we really want to help position our country, Morocco, as one of the leaders in technological advancements in Africa, or why not, like beyond Africa. What is Morocco HPC? So I gave somehow a brief definition or a brief introduction of Morocco HPC, but I really wanted to talk about it a bit more because it's an initiative that's very, very dear to our hearts, and we really, really would like to make an impact through Morocco HPC. So the first thing that we can tell you here is that Morocco HPC was actually inspired by Morocco AI. As you can see, the name is actually quite similar because we noticed that Morocco AI was actually doing a great job in promoting AI and gathering community and also hosting a lot of very, very successful events. And yes, a lot of people talk about AI, a lot of people talk about the advancements of AI, but we really wanted people to talk more about HPC. So that was actually our main goal. That was actually what drove this initiative, or what started this initiative, or what actually gave us this idea. So we wanted, again, to build a community of different HPC practitioners, researchers, or even people in the industry, and allow them to freely talk about HPC, and allow them also to discuss complex problems, discuss the use cases of HPC, and simply just talk about HPC and share the knowledge around HPC. So Morocco HPC is actually a public initiative that is aimed at fostering a culture of high-performance computing in Morocco. So this is actually including researchers, educators, IT professionals, students, industry leaders, anyone who's actually a fan of HPC, or someone who would actually want to include HPC in their work. So our initiative would work to build actually capacity in computational sciences and technology, and also to enable individuals and organizations, be it a company or an institution or a university, whatever organization you're working with, to utilize HPC for scientific research and to use HPC to drive innovation and eventually for problem solving. Second, Morocco HPC is actually designed to bridge the gap between technology and local IT professionals, researchers, and enthusiasts. So that's actually our main goal. And we really want to do that. How? By explaining HPC, making it very simple, making it very understandable, allowing everyone to understand the main concepts of HPC, showing how practical it can be in applications, showing how it actually can be used in day-to-day problems, in problem solving, in optimizations, in all these kind of problems. So we really want to focus on HPC, and we want to showcase its role in day-to-day problem solving, and also on solving problems at a larger scale. So our initiative actually wants to empower professionals and researchers and would like them to integrate these advancements in HPC into their work. So this will drive the innovation, will help with the problem solving in different fields like data analysis, AI, scientific research. And it's also about connecting. So the idea is to bridge the gap. So we'd really like to connect those people to these technologies. So you hear about these technologies, about GPUs, about CUDA programming and all these things, but we would like you to see where you can actually use them, how you can actually use them, and that you can easily learn them, because we're going to present you with a lot of material, with a lot of webinars. We're going to bring a lot of guests. So we'd really like to bridge the gap between those technologies that people usually just hear of and their work. So we'd like them to apply these advancements and technologies to their work. And that's actually our main goal. So having this said, this is the idea behind Morocco HPC. This is what we aim to achieve through Morocco HPC. And everything goes in the direction of building a Moroccan community that works on HPC. But the question actually remains, why Morocco HPC, which means why do we want to have this community? Why do we see the need for a Moroccan HPC community in Morocco, right? So what is like the aim behind it, or why did we get this idea? So it is actually clear that there is a large number of advancements in different fields, like in AI, in a lot of other fields, basically. But we have noticed a couple of things that actually made us think that, well, Morocco HPC is something that is really needed in Morocco, or like having a HPC community is really needed in Morocco. So we noticed that a lot of people talk about AI, but they forget to mention that AI is actually enabled by HPC. So AI is fundamentally enabled by high-performance computing because it requires massive computational power to process large data sets, to run complex algorithms, to train machine learning algorithms in general. So high-performance computing on HPC, it provides the infrastructure and the processing capabilities that make it possible to handle these vast amounts of data. So these vast amounts of data are basically involved in the AI research, deep learning, and neural networks, and other models. Now, whether you are training a model, be it for speech recognition, image classification, or natural language processing, HPC can be really, really useful in accelerating the time it takes to get the results, which will allow your AI system to function at the speed that matches the real-world applications, which is eventually what we want to get. So AI is enabled by HPC. This was our first observation. And then we also figured that there are a lot of simulations that are going on that require a lot of processing power. So particularly those in the fields like climate science, aerospace, medicine, physics. Those simulations, they demand immense processing power. They demand a lot of processing power because they're actually usually very complex, and they run on a large scale. So we actually need larger or like bigger processing power to handle these simulations. So these simulations, as I said, they often model complicated systems such as weather patterns, sometimes even molecular interactions or aerodynamics. So these actually require very precise calculations. So very precise calculations and near real-time analysis across multiple variables so that we can get actual results that we can use in the decision making or that we can simply draw conclusions from. And we also noticed that Morocco is currently working on a lot of big projects that rely on intensive calculations. So a lot of big projects that are currently happening in Morocco, especially those in sectors like renewable energies, infrastructure, and even very straightforward scientific research. So they rely heavily on intensive calculations to ensure efficiency, precision, and innovation. So we know that there are a lot of like projects that are currently going on, but we don't really know that the underlying infrastructure is actually HPC. So how are we going to do the simulations? How are we going to run the calculations? How are we going to do the optimization and a lot of other tasks that are part of bigger projects, that are part or that are actually put together to form a bigger project. So there is HPC underneath. So having made these three observations, we thought that we need to go in this direction and we need to help building a community that actually talks about HPC, or a community that actually merges between these fields like AI, simulations and other renewable energy projects and other projects, and HPC being the enabler for these advancements. Our vision is actually very simple. So we want to position Morocco as a hub for HPC innovation and education in Africa. So we really want to go in this direction because we know, as I mentioned before, that Morocco is actually working currently on a lot of large-scale projects. So these projects are related to renewable energy, related to infrastructure, urban planning, a lot of other fields that Morocco is actually working on. So from the top, we can see that this project is dedicated for such a thing, but we don't really know that whatever results we're going to get from that project is actually based on some calculations that were done precisely or that were done in an efficient manner by an HPC platform or by an HPC cluster, whatever the venue we decide to deliver to deliver HPC through, there is actually HPC underneath. So Morocco is going in this direction, so we really want to go also in this direction and try to look at HPC as something that is fundamental for nearly, I don't want to say everything, but for nearly every advancement that is now happening. The increased processing power is a result of the increased demand on the processing power, which makes sense. So if we didn't need processing power, we wouldn't be talking about more advanced computers or like more performant computers, higher speed, and all that. And our mission is about collaboration. So whatever I mentioned before, it's actually it's what we want to achieve, but how we want to achieve that is basically through the collaboration. So we really focus on that. And that's why I've been saying community, because we really need people to collaborate together to achieve the goals or to achieve the vision that I talked about. So this collaboration can be through the knowledge sharing. So we would really appreciate people sharing their knowledge about HPC. We would really appreciate people empowering each other when it comes to HPC. We would really appreciate it if people can join forces to talk about HPC, because we know that HPC is not a single field. It's actually multifold. So I can be good in, I don't know, GPU programming, for example. Someone else can be good in parallelizing the code, any other field or subfield in HPC. And it's only through collaboration that we can get to tackle every single aspect of HPC or every single subfield of HPC. So collaboration is actually very important. So this is collaboration at our level, which is the level of individuals. However, collaboration on a bigger level or on a higher level is also required, which is the collaboration between institutions, the collaboration between research entities, the collaboration between even companies or industries. This is also something that's very important. And through our platform, which is Morocco HPC, we really aim to like make that happen. We really want to help these organizations or these entities communicate together. So we're presenting them with a platform that they can use to communicate together and collaborate on HPC concepts or problems or anything that they would like to collaborate on. And by the way, before I continue, for our audience, if you have any questions, if there is anything you would like to say, please feel free to mention that on YouTube. We would be very happy to get your questions. And you can do that now. You don't have to wait until the end of our presentation. Our key objectives. So it is really important for us to have clear objectives and to clearly talk about what we would like to achieve, because we know that we have a big mission, we have big objectives, or we have a big vision and a big mission. So we would like to have those objectives very clear. The first thing that I would like to talk about is organized webinars. So through these webinars, we really want to invite a lot of HPC specialists, HPC practitioners, HPC professionals from Morocco and from abroad. So bringing them to you as guests to talk to you about a specific topic or to talk to you about a general topic, it depends on the topic of their choice. And this actually bringing me to ask you, whoever is watching us today, to suggest. So just bring suggestions. Tell us if there is something you would like us to talk about. Tell us if there is something you would like us to discuss. So it's also open and we're all contributing in this. We also want to conduct training sessions and workshops on cutting-edge HPC technology. So this is quite similar to the webinars, but different. So it's different because this will be very hands-on. So the training sessions are going to be very hands-on. The training sessions are going to be, let me bring the lesson back. All right. So yeah, so the training sessions are going to be mainly hands-on. So we would like you to, if you hear, for example, about the technology in a webinar, we would really like you to work with that technology during the training session or during the workshop. And that's actually our main goal. So yes, we're going to hear about a lot of technologies, a lot of new concepts in the webinars by our guests, but ideally we would also like to work with these concepts and these technologies in the hands-on sessions. So for now, until now, because we're just starting, we still did not organize or we still did not schedule any training sessions for now, but this is something that's going to be coming up. And then to host conferences and to connect practitioners and enthusiasts. And this is basically the networking part of our objectives. So we'd really like to build a network of HPC practitioners or HPC specialists or enthusiasts in Morocco. And we think that organizing conferences is actually a good way to do that. So we want to organize conferences locally, or even at the level of the region, or even internationally. I mean, it depends on how we're gonna go with that. So these are basically our key objectives, but there is one main key component that we would like to mention here, which is our willingness to create a research group that actually works on HPC. So in addition to organizing events and organizing conferences and organizing training sessions and workshops or hands-on sessions, we would really like to have an active group that's working on HPC research. So a group that we can publish together, we can have some results together. So yes, that's our main objective. But again, under that objective, we have these key objectives that I mentioned here. We have to keep in mind that our main, I don't know if I can call it an objective, but our main target is to shed the light on the importance of HPC. Why we need HPC, and why do you keep hearing about HPC, and why do you have to know more about HPC if you work in AI, if you work in renewable energies or any other field? Why is it that important? I have 3 points here, but these are not the only points, obviously, because we created Morocco HPC to discuss the importance of HPC in details. But to begin with, I would like you to keep in mind that HPC actually solves complex problems in a lot of fields, namely climate modeling, genomics, AI, and others. It enhances the research capabilities and drives the innovation, and it also supports economic development through the advancements of technologies. These are like the main points, but through our webinars and through our conferences and events, we will emphasize more on them and we will shed more lights on them. To actually help me tackle these points better, I would like to present now the founders of Morocco HPC. So first we have Dr. Ahmed. He is an assistant professor of computer science working with UM6P College of Computing. He is also head of research, and he is an NVIDIA Deep Learning Institute ambassador. We have also Dr. Hassan Layouni. He's an associate professor of mathematics at Malakhawan University School of Science and Engineering. His main field is numerical analysis, but he's worked with HPC a lot throughout the years. And finally, there is myself. I am an HPC specialist, now working at the Leibniz Institute for Natural Product Research and Infection Biology in Jena, Germany. And all three of us, we came up with the idea of Morocco HPC, and we decided to bring this platform to you. And hopefully, it's gonna be of great use for everyone. Now, for Dr. Ahmed, I have a quick question for you. So if you can share with us this knowledge that we have on this slide here. So we know that, as I mentioned before, Morocco is going into using or into working on like a lot of large problems, big problems or projects in general. So one of these projects is actually implementing or starting computation centers in Morocco. So, or like supercomputers in Morocco. So can you please just walk us through what Morocco has done so far in this direction?
Okay, thank you very much, Safa. Do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Safa, for this nice presentation and nice introduction to HPC and Morocco HPC. So regarding HPC capabilities, Morocco is doing a huge effort to strengthen its scientific and research capabilities. Today, I will talk about two main HPC resources, but I think most Moroccan universities have their own HPC platforms that they manage and give access to the researchers. So the first one is Marwan HPC, which is started and launched by CNRST in 2018. The system includes more than 1,600 CPU cores and up to 4 terabytes of storage and 4 GPUs, and it is accessible for all Moroccan researchers. Secondly, we have Tubqa supercomputer inaugurated in 2020 by UM6P and managed now by the UM6P College of Computing. And currently, it is accessible only by UM6P researchers and collaborators. But soon we will launch call of projects to offer ours to all Moroccan researchers. So Tubqa was ranked 98 in the world's on the top 500 list of supercomputers in 2020. It boasts more than 69,000 CPU cores, 20 NVIDIA A100 GPUs, and more than 8,000 terabytes of storage. So, and now we are trying to bring more GPUs, like to enhance the research in AI, like you mentioned before, in AI and simulation and modeling and so on. So this is the main two HPC platforms that we have currently, like open to Moroccan researchers. But I think in the future we will have more resources that can like help researchers to do their research and do their calculations. So I hope I answered your question.
Yes.
My colleague Safa.
Yes, perfect. Ahmed, can you please take this question from the audience? So we have Abdelaziz who's asking. He said, I wanted to ask if we can clone an environment or a tool that is developed by another lab in France into the HPC and then have the ability to run on Moroccan HPC. So I don't know if that's possible on Tubqal.
Yes, it's possible. It depends on the tools that you are working with, but yeah, of course, like behind it's the same. Like it's mainly HPC platforms are Linux, and sometimes we can use some tools like Docker and Singularity to create like virtual environments and then move these environments to like different HPC platforms, regarding what they have behind. So yeah, it is feasible.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, Ahmed. Abdelaziz,
Oh,
I hope you got that. So if you need any more clarification, feel free to get in touch with us. I mean, you can give us more details and then we can maybe suggest something else. All right, thank you very much, Ahmed, for answering my question. Dr. Layouni, I have also a quick question for you. So, since your domain of expertise is mathematics, and you have certainly used HPC before to solve some math-related problems, would you please briefly talk to us about a couple of methods that can be used to improve the efficiency and scalability of large-scale problem solutions, namely in numerical simulations?
All right. So thank you very much, Safa. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. For HPC, it takes both resources, and Ahmed talk about this in details. But also, we need the algorithms aspect, which is designing, the mathematical model. So here I'm going to briefly talk about two methods. The first one is known by domain decomposition methods, which is basically is to divide like a big problem into small problems, and then which you can solve like at a different processor or cluster. But in general, the big challenge is to what I say, to glue those patches, and that's in general mathematics is very difficult to develop. But you cannot solve, like when it comes to modeling and real life applications, you cannot really solve the problem as it is, because it's very very difficult. Okay. And so one example that actually I was involved is when I was in Canada. The project is about the weather forecasting, and we had to use domain decomposition to tackle the problem. And the results are interesting when you use actually the power decomposition. The second point that I want to talk about is the multi-level methods. So multi-level, or what we call multi-degree methods, they are very, very powerful and robust methods. They are used in very in challenging and complex problems. And the idea is to go between, if you want, like levels, because when it comes to solve like any like problem, then you need to use what we call a mesh. But if this mesh is very fine, then the problem becomes very, very large. And so this idea of multi-level is to relax a little bit this idea of having just one fine mesh, and then you go between like different levels in using a projection and interpolation. And it turns out those type of both of them, the domain decomposition method and multi-level method, they are very, very robust to handle complex problems. I hope that actually I try to be very brief and not technical. Thank you very much, Sophie, for the question.
Thank you very much for the straightforward answer and brief answer. I know there is a lot behind this, and there's still a lot of details that you want to talk about, but since this is your domain of expertise. But yeah, hopefully we're going to get a chance to discuss that with you further on a specific topic, and then our audience can hear more about it.
Sure.
Thank you very much, Silhassan and Ahmed. Our team. I am actually very, very happy to see that we have already 3 people working with us for now. Hopefully we can get this family to be bigger, but I'm really extremely happy to have these 3 people working with us so far. Zainab Adil, she is a senior data analyst, and I had a chance to work with her on multiple events before, and very smart, very dedicated, and I'm really happy to have her with us in the team. Hiba Amisa, Also, I had the chance to work with her on an event, I think last year or so, I don't remember. But I had the chance to work with her, also very smart and very creative. So she is the senior computer science student at Al Khawa University, same as Wael. He's also a senior computer science student at AUI. And I didn't really get a chance to work with Wael on any events before, but I had the chance to teach him, which was a great experience. I'm really happy to have Wael, Hiba, and Zainab with us today. And this is also an invitation for everyone who's willing to join us, to join our family, to help with the events organization, to help with the technical matters, to help with the scheduling, with the contacting the guests, anything that you can think of, anything that you can help us with, we will be very happy to take you with us. Thank you very much for our team. Yeah, thank you very much for stepping up and for being part of our family. So, to briefly give you an idea about our upcoming events. So HPC101, this is the current webinar. This is where we are now. We're really now talking about HPC101. This was presented to you by the founders of the initiative. So in 2 weeks' time, we're going to have a talk by Dr. Sharma. She's going to be talking about large vision models, parallelization on HPC systems. And then after 2 weeks, again, because our webinars are actually every other week. So after 2 weeks, we're going to have Dr. Bushra Rahim talking to us about the Marwan computing facilities, which was presented earlier by Imad Qisami, which is going to give us more details about it. And obviously, we have a lot more. So just follow us on LinkedIn. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube so that you can see all the webinars and so that you can be up to date with our events. If you want to be involved, obviously just attend our events. We'll be very happy to see that whatever we share with you, the knowledge that we have from our guests is actually reaching you. So just make sure to attend our webinars, participate in the hands-on workshops and training sessions, attend our conferences and all that. Share your knowledge. So if you feel like there is something you would like to share with the community, feel free to get in touch with one of the admins on the page, tell them what you want to share, and then we'll be happy to post about it, or I don't know, do a webinar about it or do a presentation about it, but just give us your ideas and share them with the community. And community, which is the word that I've been using from the beginning of this presentation. So join our community to stay updated on the initiative and to see our opportunities, to get a chance to network, and also to get in touch, to connect with our guests. So this is everything that we have planned for this webinar. We called it HPC101. Kick off your journey, because this is literally the first thing that we've ever organized in this initiative. So we are very happy that we have you with us, that you got a chance to learn about our initiative. And this is our contact information. This is our email, and we have a LinkedIn page. So please follow us on the LinkedIn page so that you can see all the news and you stay up to date on the events. So if you have any questions, please feel free to type them on the chat, and then we can take them before ending this webinar. Okay, so we have another question from Abdelaziz. I'm going to show it here. I don't know, Seymed and Silhassan, can you see it?
I think I can see the question. I think will be there any webinar on how to run Qal using the prompt command. I think this is the question.
Yeah, this is for Seymed.
Yes, and inshallah, of course, we can like do many workshops and training and hands-on to use like HPC platforms, not only Tubqal, because like they are all like bit the same usage. So we have the same usage. So we will give you some hands-on training to teach you and like give you some projects to run them on the HPC platform.
Maybe a start with a Slurm tutorial or something would be a good start, and then see how to run bigger projects.
Yes, of course. Access to HPC. So we have a question from Belk.
Yes.
So it depends. For example, Marwan HPC is accessible for all Moroccan researchers. So you just need to go to the website and then apply. If you belong to a research team, you can get access and so on. So they give access to researchers. At UM6P, it's so far different. We give access to UM6P researchers and all collaborators. So if you collaborate with UM6P team, so we give you access. But yeah, soon, as I said, we will try to make a call of projects and offer some CPU and GPU hours to all Morocco researchers first, and then for all African researchers also.
Okay, that makes sense.
I don't know if I answered the question. So
Because I don't know. So because of the access request, we get that. So I guess you answered, like Samed, you answered the question related to the access. So yeah, if you have other questions about how to access or whether you can access or not, or how to access the Marwan computing facilities, you can get in touch with us later on LinkedIn, and we'll be happy to answer that as well. I don't know if there are any other questions from the audience. Thank you, Intisar. Intisar is willing to join us and contribute to future events. Thank you very much. Would you please just send me a message on LinkedIn so that we can stay in touch and we can collaborate on the next events. Thank you very much. Zakaria Dhbi is asking about the compute capabilities of Tubqal. So I'm going to go back to the slide, I guess. Yes.
Tubqal boasts so far more than 69,000 of CPU cores, the Intel 1, and 2800 with 80 gigabytes of RAM memory, NVIDIA GPUs, and we are trying to bring more. So we will soon bring the 800, the 800 GPUs that are much faster than the 800. Few GPUs, but we will bring more. I think in the near future, we will bring more GPUs. And about the storage, we have more than 8,000 terabytes of storage. We have more than thousands of servers. We have some servers with 1.5 terabytes of RAM memory, and some of them with hundreds of RAM memory. It depends. So yeah.
Okay. I have a question for you, Samed. Do researchers do they really go and use the computing facilities or the computing power on Tubqal, or do they prefer to keep their computations local?
Even if at the beginning they prefer their own laptop because it's easier and so on. But
Yeah.
they quickly are limited because they cannot run big data sets and so on, and it's very slow and so on. And then they come back to us and they ask for access to HPC and try to learn and follow the tutorials and so on. And so far, I think we have more than 40%, 40% of usage of Tubqal.
That's not bad, I guess. Yeah.
Yes.
Because that's also a problem that we have at the level of the institute where I work. A lot of people, they prefer, as you said, to have their own workstations where they can run their jobs locally. But for us, for the way the institute is running, is not very ideal. So we would like to have everything running on a supercomputer, since the supercomputer is in place. So yeah, but a lot of people, they feel like, oh, I'm gonna lose, I don't know, control over my data. I'm not gonna have full control over my jobs and stuff. So it takes a lot of like trainings or just to bring
Yeah.
awareness. So okay, yeah, we have something that is like developed for you on the premises. So just might as well use it.
Hello.
Hello, yeah.
But
Can I ask?
we have many tutorials and yeah.
See, Ahmed, well, since everybody is asking, see, Ahmed, I have a question for you, see, Ahmed, if you don't mind. Can you hear me, see, Ahmed? I think he's not.
I don't hear you.
Oh, now?
We can hear you. No, we can hear you saying.
I didn't hear you still, Hassan, now. What did you say?
Well, I have a question concerning the energy consumption of Tubqal. Do you have like, if you can tell us like per day, an idea about the
I don't have numbers, but we have like some protocols to shut down some servers and so on. We have like some protocols to minimize the energy consumption. So, but we have also PVs. So we have like part of energy that are like handled by PVs. In Belgrade, we have like I think 1 megawatt peak coming from PV. So it covers like most of HPC usage, so the energy consumption. So, but I don't have numbers, so I don't know. I don't want to say something. Like maybe next time we will invite our colleagues. So the head of the supercomputer, which is Robert Basmadjan, and like he can give us information about Tubqa supercomputer and energy and so on, and projects that we are working on and so on.
Yeah, that would be great.
Is cloning other HPCs with our Moroccan HPC is working. So Abdelaziz, I don't understand your question. So what do you mean by cloning other HPCs? So cloning like are talking about codes and so on, or like the environment and so if I understood the question, so each HPC has its own configuration and with the modules and so on. So we install the libraries and so on. And for example, if you have C codes compiled or executed in HPC in France, you can just get copying environments, modules, and libraries. So mainly we have the same modules and environments and libraries. So we have OpenMPI with different versions. We have Python with different versions. I'm talking about Tubqal, and I think Marwan HPC is is doing the same. So yeah, with different versions, with different compilers and so on. And I think we don't have, and also we give to users the possibility to install their modules and libraries. And I think there is no problem to take this the same C file. Okay, you cannot take the executable and then execute it in the HPC because the compile you need to recompile the code. So it is power costing. I didn't get the question. It is power costing in.
It's like energy consuming or like. I'm not sure I understand the question either.
Saying that I want to combine between 3 satellites and correlate between them and see what it shows. I mean, does it code GPU and CPU? So it depends. It depends on the code are trying to run. So if it's needs GPUs, you need to have GPU, and if it is only executable in CPUs, we need CPU, but I didn't get the question. Sorry about that. But yes, we do. I think all the HPC platforms do the same thing. So, for example, when I was in France, I had access to Idris, like Jean Zay, and they gave us some CPU hours. And the time limit, for example, to run a job is 100 of CPU hour. And when I say CPU hour, means that if you run with one core, it's 100 of hours. But if you run with two cores, it's divided by two. It means that you cannot exceed 50, 100 hours. So we have this like not the same limitation because we have enough resources, and now we still like don't like reach the limit of Tubqal. But for example, we can have some limitation in the GPU. We can go from 2 to 7 days depending on the request of the users. We have some. It is manageable with what we call QoSs. So with QoSs we can like put the limit that you want. And we have many QoSs, for example, and we give, for example, for native users we give like 24 hours, 36 hours, because we know that they don't have experience to, and sometimes they can just run the job, and if the job is not like well written and so on, it can like just be like it can just take days without doing anything. So we give them like limits, and then if they come back to us and ask for more hours, and then we can like meet them and understand what is the need and give them like this new limitation, which is maybe can go up to 7 days or sometimes more. It depends on the type of users that we have.
Okay. All right, so Aya also would like to join. Thank you very much, Aya, for your willingness to join us. Thank you very much for attending the webinar. Anas is saying, thank you for this interesting initiative. I believe it will be a great success. Thank you. I was wondering if UM6P students have access to Tubqal.
Yes, we give access to students, but the students should like be part of projects, and the only owners of project are the assistant professors, associate professors, and full professors, and so on. So if you are doing like internship with the professor, we can give you access, okay? And like if it is like for training, we can give you also access and so on.
Okay. This is a question from Yunus, I believe, to Saimed and Sail Hassan both. Do you know any master programs in this field? In the field of HPC?
I don't think so. But I think
so we had a master, we had a
okay,
master at UM6P for modeling and modeling, like and we did some lectures in HPC, but we the master like is no more there. So we have only engineer school, and the engineers in the engineer school we have like some like lectures on that. But like from my point of view, I don't think we need like a whole program for this, because it's something that we can learn by yourself, and learning by doing, like doing some projects and so on. This is something that if you want just to use HPC platforms, that like to write parallel programs and so on. So it depends on your need.
And I think, Saimed, it would be a good idea for the future to have like such a program, master in HPC, and
maybe master.
If there is a need, interest of students, so it would be great.
Yeah, I think it makes sense because it's indeed included in a lot of fields. So you can take it when, I don't know, when doing AI or when doing renewable energies and stuff. But it would be a good idea to have a whole program about high performance computing. Like, what are the venues? How can I achieve HPC? How can I like like have different modules, like for the programming, for the hardware part. It's going to involve some networking if we're talking about clusters. So I think there is a lot to cover when it comes to HPC. It's very broad.
Yeah, why not? Inshallah.
Sam doesn't like the idea, but okay.
No. Sam, see, honestly, I learned HPC through hands-on training and so on. So I didn't had any lecture in MPI or networking and so on. But when I was in France, Idris Center offering lots of training, hands-on training, and so in HPC, and I was always there. And only with this training, so I got some experience, and then with practicing, you got experience. So offering a whole program for that, maybe in. So I'm talking about now. Maybe so far in Morocco, there's no need for this master student in HPC or engineer in HPC because we don't have lots of platforms and so on. So maybe so far, but maybe in the future we can. Yeah.
Well, I did a whole PhD on that on HPC. So there is actually a lot to cover.
No, yes, there is a lot to cover, but yeah.
Yeah.
So
Actually, as you
discuss
said,
about that later.
it depends. It depends on the perspective, I guess. If you just want, as you said, if you just want to use the platform, which are not many, we don't have many in Morocco, so the trainings and the hands-on are actually enough. But if you want to build the platform, that's where actually a lot of knowledge is required, I guess.
So Bell asked about the internet speed. So we have both Ethernet and InfiniBand, and in the InfiniBand, I think in Tubqal we have 20 gigabytes per second to upload and download. So I think it's enough.
All right, I guess there were a lot of questions related to Tubqal, so maybe we can organize a separate webinar just to answer Tubqal related questions.
That would be great.
Yeah, I think it would be great. Like the access, the capacities, what are the modules installed and how to use them and all that. So yeah, I don't know if the audience has another question. Any other questions? Okay, I guess no other questions. Let me see. Okay, so Belk is excited to get on board, and that's really we're happy to know that. So thank you very much for everyone who attended our webinar. It was really interesting to answer your questions and to see your engagement. We really enjoyed that. Thank you very much, Ahmed, for taking the questions and taking the time to answer the questions. Thank you very much, Silayuni, for sharing with us your knowledge in mathematics related to HPC. So so this was our first webinar, and we're also looking forward to the upcoming ones.
Well, thank you very much, Safa, for all the
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Safa.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Goodbye.
So thank you, Silayuni, and
شكرا.
يلا السلام عليكم.
Bye bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.